Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Compliance Corner with John Hanson. My name is Cole Finley, and today is Thursday, October 29th, and we're here for another Compliance Corner with my good friend, John Hanson. John, how are you doing today?
Awesome. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so we've got a great topic today. It's Form 17 exemptions. And for those of you who want to look it up in the Revised Code of Washington, it's RCW 64.06.010. All right, John, tell us all about it.
Okay, well, this is a continual issue, I should say, not a problem, but an issue in transactions and questions that come to me on a regular basis. And I just want to make sure everyone's clear that if you look at this RCW 64.06.010, it only has 7 exemptions. And so one is a foreclosure or deed in lieu of foreclosure, so you know you're not going to deal with that. A transfer made by a personal representative of the estate of the decedent or by a trustee in bankruptcy. Okay, and that's just for that personal representative. And so others are gifts from parents to children, things like that, and spouse to spouse, and those kinds of things. So really, there's not much. There's just not much there. And so what I continually get are builders, repos, all these things that want to be exempt, and they're not. Yeah. And I can't tell you that it's okay, because it's not okay. And so there's a little dialogue you want to have with your client, buyer client, when they're buying one of these where they say they're exempt, but they're not. So don't just say, so please don't just say that because it's an estate property that they're exempt, because they're not. If it's already been probated, if it's already in their name, they're selling it, they're not exempt. Only that representative that was handling the probate and all those things, they're the only ones that are exempt in a sale. So once the title is now in the names of those who have received it, that we would call devisees, they need to disclose this Form 17. Now, the issue that I continually talk about is that the seller could still insist that any offers are accompanied by a waiver of their right to receive the Form 17, right?
Right. Okay.
And so that's what I would recommend if your seller is one of those that just doesn't, they've never seen the property, lived in the property, they received it, they want to sell it now. Okay, that's fine. They can make it a requirement for the sale of the property that anyone making an offer or going into contract with them is going to waive their right to receive it. And you can put that in your listing remarks or whatever. But the thing I want to make you aware of is that very last exemption, number 7, which is that in a transfer in which the buyer has expressly waived the receipt of the seller disclosure statement, that if there is an environmental factor in which that seller would have had to have answered yes to, then they may not waive that environmental section. So you'll see that some builders in their builders addenda will frequently go ahead and have wording in that it is going to say that the buyer waives their right to receive the Form 17, and they include the, whatever they are, 8 questions or something on the environmental section already answered, and then the buyer just signs that, and that's great. That covers, that's done.
Gotcha. Okay.
So anyway, so I just, because this is an ongoing issue, I just want to make sure everybody's clear on it, that the exemptions, if you read this, they're I mean, there's only 7, and like 4 of them are the same thing. So there's really only a couple of them here that apply, and they don't apply oftentimes where we think they should apply. Just because the seller's never seen the property before doesn't mean they're exempt. They can simply answer don't know to all the questions if they in fact don't know. But the law is the law. And so when your buyer is in that situation where the seller has not given a Form 17 or insists that they're exempt, but they're not, then the procedure you want to take is to just make sure that you put the other agent on notice that, from what you can see under RCW 6406010, they are not exempt. And I would like to request that you send me the completed Form 17. And if you send them an email to that effect during the transaction, just once or twice during the transaction, your buyer's gonna have the right to walk away all the way up to the closing table and get their earnest money back for not having received a Form 17.
Very good point. Very good point. Absolutely. Well, John, thank you so much for clearing this up for us. The Form 17 is always one of those things where agents can get in trouble so often. So it's so great to have you clear this up. By the way, in our notes, we will go ahead and make sure we list out those 7 exemptions for you guys so you can have those at your fingertips. All right, my good friend. Well, thank you so much for another wonderful Compliance Corner with John Hanson. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. And go Huskies.
Go Huskies. Okay. Bye.